Okay. Hi, this is Ice Blue 3. Currently, it is April the 5th, 2026. Okay, so apparently Pam Bondi, she was fired on, or reportedly fired on April the 2nd, 2026. Like I said, I don't talk bad about Scorpios. Like I said, I have an ex as a Scorpio in that situation. So yeah. But what I will say is that I just recently found out that Pam Bondi, she's subpoenaed to testify on April the 14th, 2026. And that is like one day before Donald Trump, he has a progression to Mars. Let me pause a second. Okay, so on April the 15th, 2026, Donald Trump, he will have a progression to his Mars. I was supposed to have said something about the Pam Bondi situation though. So let me pause for a second to get my notes. Let me pause again. Okay, I think what I was gonna do is I was gonna go over all the astrological aspects that are gonna happen because I added a few more to a new chart. But before I do that, or I might just make that turn into another video. Um, sorry, it's just been a crazy day. Um, Pam Bunny getting fired. So I did watch Dan Bongino, his video in regards to him talking about Pam Bundy's firing, and he didn't say anything too off putting about the situation, but he did say that him that there was some there was a falling out situation that happened all the way back inside of July, I believe, of 2025. But see, back in July 2025, Dan Bongino, he said that everything was fine. Everything was fine. Like, and so it seems like Dan Bongino. The more I watch Dan Bongino, the more it's like he's racking up a track record of saying one thing and it being another way. But I meditated on the situation for a while in regards to Donald Trump and this whole entire Epstein situation. The players, Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, and Pam Bundy, and there's others, but see, like I said, Dan Bongino, he is a Sagittarius, and Cash Patel, he's a Pisces. They're both ruled by the planet Jupiter, and the planet Jupiter, what it does is that it. Let me pause because I can't get the words right, and it's already a messed up day for me. So the planet Jupiter, it promises more than it delivers. And so it's like it's called the gas planet for a reason, or the gas giant for a reason. So, and I've had my experience with another ex being a Pisces. It was like my first ex, I think, all the way back when, before my Scorpio ex or whatever. But and so that person lot, in my opinion, lied a lot. And honestly, they're the reason why I ended up starting to learn astrology. Because I was just trying to figure out some stuff or whatever. And anyway, never trust someone that's, in my opinion, never trust somebody that's ruled by the planet Jupiter. That's just that. But I mean, I get it. I get it in regards to Dan Magino. And let me go and say this. Pretty much everything I say is in my is of my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's my opinion. And I'm so burnt out on so much crazy news coming out that I'm just like, my last video that I made on April the 2nd, 2026. I was recording this video, and all the while Pam Bundy was getting fired, and I'm like, I thought that I thought I was gonna make this long ass video and just take a break, because I mean it went over most of the astrology for a very long time, from April to all the way to March 27. And I get in the bed, I get in my bed, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't want to watch the news today. I want to just lay here and just stare at the ceiling. I was that exhausted after making that after making my last video. So I said, let me just turn to something on. Maybe something good has happened. And I find out that Pam Bunny is fired. I'm sorry if I sound like low energy right now. It's just that you get tired of shenanigans and situations and shit popping up. You just do. So in this video, I'm just gonna ramble. I'm just gonna ramble and give like a Let me pause a second. Okay, but in this video, I'm just gonna ramble. I'm not gonna give too much astrological lore, but I will say this in regards to Donald Trump and the rest of this month. I said in my previous two videos, I said that something's gonna happen around April the 15th. That's gonna have Donald Trump ready to flip the tables over. Like I said, Pam Bondi, she's subpoenaed to testify on April the 14th. And that's one day before for Donald Trump. He has a bad aspect side of his chart that makes him angry. But not only that, days later on April the 19th and 20th, pause. But on April the 19th and the 20th, that's when transit Mars, Saturn, and Mercury conjoin inside the sky. And that could be some explosive Epstein news that comes out that's like the final situation in regards to that. Because I think transit Mercury conjoined transit Mars in the sky 4 or 5 times so far. I think this will be the last time. Whatever. And so that should be a very, very interesting day. And then see days later, I think on the 22nd of April, that's when JD Vance, he will have a progressed aspect to his Mars. And the last time that JD Vance has had an aspect to Mars was days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, like a week before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I need to look at the lunar cycles. Let me check that real quick. Let me pause. So it seems like on April the 17th, there will be a new moon that's going to be making a semi-sextile to Hillary Clinton's natal moon. Exact, just like this. There's a similar aspect that hit. It was a conjunction though, I believe on what was it, February, March. It was around the time of the depositions. The release of the depositions in regards to Darren Endike and Richard Kahn. It was on the 19th of March, I believe. Anyway, but my point is that starting April the 15th, 2026, Donald Trump, something's gonna piss him off. That's gonna just have him be ready to flip the table over, and it's gonna piss off JD Vance as well. It's gonna shock Usher Vance because on the 24th of April, right? Pause. Okay, so yeah, on April the 24th, 2026, Usher Vance, she would have her progressive moment make an aspect to her Uranus. It's usually a bad, shocking event, especially with JD Vance, her partner or husband, having bad astrology around the same date, and Donald Trump as well. The last time we had a cluster of people having bad astrology around the same time, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September the 10th, 2025. But also the next time I saw like a large cluster of people having crazy progressions at the same time was on January the 14th, 2026. And that was when the Clintons, they missed their depositions on January 14th, 2026. And they were almost held in contempt of Congress. Okay. Sorry, I'm just tired. I'm like, it's a lot of stuff going on. I forgot to say Happy Easter. Today is Easter Sunday. I don't really pay attention to holidays. Oh, also today they said that the rapture was supposed to happen today, and I'm still here. So anyway, I'll talk about that more in a second. Let me pause for a second though. Okay, I'm back. So apparently the rapture is supposed to happen today, to either the 4th of April or the 5th of April via Mr. Joshua's prophecy. Now I will say that, like I said, I'm still stuck on his first what he said the first time. Okay, he said that the rapture was supposed to happen around the 23rd or the 24th of September 2025, and crazy enough, days before that, there was an eclipse on September the 21st, 2025. But not only that, that was the same day as Charlie Kirk's funeral. So weirdly enough, and so the 21st. So we think anyway, 21, 22, 23, and 24, right? So that's like 3 days later after the solar eclipse and Charlie Kirk's funeral. So April the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, or the 5th, 2026. That's when Pam Bondi was fired. Weirdly enough. So who knows? Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. But I do know that Mr. Joshua, he said that there will not be a World Cup in 2026, and so we will see about that. That's what's stuck in my head or whatever. So let's see here. Let me pause for a second. So I know I keep pausing, but I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get through this, and I think I'm gonna make this a short video because I really don't care about the Pam Bondi firing. What I'm thinking is that is I'm too tired. What I'm thinking is that it's a triggering event, and something's going to happen around April the 15th. That's like I said, it's going to piss Donald Trump off. He's going to be ready to flip the table over, like, okay, time to get started, and that's when he's going to start going after people. I did not know. I did not know that about the primaries that were coming up. I believe inside of what, May or June or whatever, in regards to all these states, because understand this is an election year. And what I forgot to say was in regards to Pam Bundy was that she was reportedly fired for leaking information to Eric Swallow's will, or Eric Fart's will, or Eric shitted himself reportedly, or what's his name? I can't think of his right. It was his name. Eric Swallowswell, something like that. I don't know. I'm tired of these politicians. But anyway, so she apparently leaked some information to Eric Swallowswell or Swallowswell or whatever. In regards to there being a possible investigation into him and his relations to in his relation to a Chinese spy. I think her name was Fang Fang or something like that. And so normally a lawmaker or something like that, I think they would have to step down from their congressional title. However, I think back in the day, Nancy Pelosi, she defended Eric Swalwell, in my opinion, or as far as I can remember. So yeah. Anyway, so instead he did not step down after this huge scandal that went down with him and this apparent Chinese spy. And so I guess Pam Bundy, if she somehow well, reportedly tipped him off in regards to an investigation probably going into Eric Swalwell in regards to that, right before, I believe, this primary or election or whatever. And so I believe that's why Donald Trump. Well, that's what was the reason why Pam Bundy was reportedly demoted or fired or whatever. And it has to make you think that pretty much, okay, so if that was inside of the pipes for Eric Swalwell, you know that, in my opinion, Donald Trump does not like Eric Swalwell. What's in the pipes for everybody else in regards to these Epstein files? In my opinion. And so Dan Bongino, I started this video off in regards to Dan Bongino because I've been watching him, and I was trying to get any kind of inkling of information in regards to what could be going on inside of the background. And like I said, he did say a while ago that you may you may not see things happening, but they're happening, or something like that. Well, just because you don't see things happening does not mean they're not happening. There we go. Let me pause a second, because like I said, I'm tired. Pause. Okay, I don't know where I stopped at, but I have written my notes right here that something big could be coming in regards to maybe on the 14th Pam Bundy, her just going scorched earth and just spilling all the tea, or it could be the person that replaces her. He changes the dynamics, and he's like, okay, let's go forward. Either way, something pisses Donald Trump off around mid-April, and it causes him to be like, turn the table over, because days later, on May the 4th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, that's when things seems like they began to go down for him, with a major event happening on June the 13th, 2026, or around that date. So around May 4th and June the 13th, 2026, something big is going down with Bill Clinton. He's going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. It could be the Epstein situation or something else. I don't know. So moving on. So, but like I said, the next person who takes over, the dynamics could change in regards to what's going on. Let's see here. Let me pause. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this video on this note because I'm actually tired. I'll make another video after this one to go down the full astrological lore of the additional political figures that I've did a little bit more research into, and I made a compilation list in regards to the astrologers going inside of the charts. I'm tired today, but what I was trying to say, my point in regards to this entire video, was that Donald Trump, you could think things are going one way, and they can go completely another way. Now that's just Gemini's in general. So that's how come you can say that. Oh my God, you say you're saying one thing, you're like two faced, or you have a double life. And so understand that with Donald Trump's with Donald Trump's ascendant conjunct the fixed star Regulus, meaning the king, and then for the ruling sign of his ascendant, the sun, to be inside of the sign of Gemini, um, he is the king of just being having duality. There we go, duality. So at all this time where they said that there may not be anything in regards, there may not be anything going on in regards to this Epstein situation or whatever. That may just be like a ploy. Let me pause a second. But it could be just like a fake out, and there could really be something that's gonna come down the drain. Understand? I think that Drake, his ascendant lord, I mean his ascendant is conjunct with fixed star Regulus as well, just like Donald Trump. And Drake, his sun is inside of the sign of Scorpio. And so Scorpios, what Scorpio generally means, it means taking from others, or taking resources from other people. Like Taurus, because Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. Taurus is having resources and having those resources and storing those resources. Scorpio is taking those resources and keeping those resources. So if I was Drake's friend or whatever, I would not keep my girl around Drake or whatever, because he could probably take her. I think it was at one point in time. I think Drake ended up with Lil Wayne's girlfriend at one point in time a while back. Anyway, you can't yeah. Not saying that that Drake takes stuff or whatever. I'm just saying that's what the sun Scorpio means. Looking at the astrology. So back Donald Trump, the duality. He could say one thing and something else could happen. So just like he said, this entire Epstein situation was a hoax. Something total opposite can happen, and all hell could break loose. So, and understand that the midterms are coming, and the October surprise that Donald Trump may have thought that he was going to use may just come out now, mid-April or May or June, by anytime by July, because in the end of whatever that's going on with Bill Clinton and whatever scandal is coming up with him, it ends on July the 20th, 2026. However, there's going to be another shocking event that happens around August the 9th, 2026. So I want to say these dates. Bill Clinton, the same astrology that happened during the beginning of his impeachment, happened on November the 13th, 2025. The trial in regards to Bill Clinton and whatever scandal, the astrology for the trial that happened for Bill Clinton all the way back on 1999, January 7th, 1999, is going to happen on June the 13th, 2026. And the end of Bill Clinton's impeachment, the astrology for it is going to happen again on July the 20th, 2026, with another shocking event that may happen around August 9th, 2026. Let me see if there's anything else I want to add about in regards to Pam Bondi. Let me pause. I was going to try to sit up and read Donald Trump's post to Pam Bondi, or him regarding the firing of Pam Bondi. I just don't even feel like it. I did make a response to or send a response to Donald Trump and in regards to his quote, not quote. I'm tired. I'm tired. See, I think I'm just done. I'm going to make a second video, and I'm going to go down the list of progressions in regards to the additional political figures charts that I found progressions that would hit this year that may be important in regards to this upcoming scandal in regards to Bill Clinton or the Clintons. So I guess it's gonna be it for me right now. Hopefully this video doesn't look as bad as I think it looks. I'm just tired. I'm tired of every day waking up and there's a whole nother doggone goddamn shenanigan or scandal or whatever. I'm like, I will say this though, like today, this like Donald Trump, he made a post in regards to I think Iran. It's booming. Oh no. Okay, that wasn't music, so I doubt it's copyrighted. Anyway, so Donald Trump he posted what was it at 7:03 a.m. this morning. You said Tuesday would be power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There'll be nothing like it. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Please, praise to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. And I'm like, look, I am tired. I mean, there's no wonder you didn't win a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm like, what do you say? Peace through strength. Like I said, pause. But he also says, the time or whatever, Tuesday 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess that's when he plans on striking or whatever. Look, I'm tired. Every day is something. And like I said, his pause. Okay, so the quote that Donald Trump has in regards to him saying peace through strength or whatever. Look, I'll say this again. Tupac, he lived a short life, but he had a quote too. He said he would rather be feared than loved, because no matter how much love he gave, fear always seemed to win or beat love or whatever. Paraphrasing, because I'm tired of shit. Tired of shit. Tired of shit. But you know what? Maybe whatever happens on April the 15th or mid-April and onwards, maybe it'll just make things right. Who knows? So we can get so that we can move on from Iran, because I don't. Very few of Donald Trump's supporters, I think, support attacking Iran. Right, Iran. The only, and I wouldn't even say that Lindsey Graham supports Donald Trump. I would say that he's just taking the opportunity, in my opinion. Whatever. This video is probably sounds crazy as shit or just discombobulated. I don't really give a shit. I'm just trying to make something and move on today. So, in my next video, I'm gonna go down this list of progressions, list of astrology transits and progressions that I made in regards to the additional political figures inside Donald Trump's circle, or just additional political figures. So, sorry and bye.